Hello Aquarius, how's everybody doing? We're here with the timeless reading. Before we get started with the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with the highest good. I'm seeing somebody that you're connecting with. They may be curious about what you have going on. You may not be in a spot where you feel totally open to talking about this yet. I'm seeing the Eight of Swords. Okay. There's something going on within your personal life. Could be feeling a bit stuck about this. This can also be a person. Okay. Huge focus on your personal life, for sure. And the elements of it. Starting off with the Eight of Swords is the feeling of like looking at something so closely that you sort of like lose your perspective. So you may want to zoom out a bit when it comes to this, because I feel like it's like when you're working on something and you work on it for so long and you're sitting there for like hours and hours and hours and you can't figure it out, and then you go up to get a glass of water and you come back and you're like, oh, it's so obvious how to fix this, and then you like know how to proceed. Something like that happening here. You may be looking at something very, very closely and you're too zoomed in and it feels like such a big deal and there's like no way out of this, like no resolution even. But I'm getting that something is like wound up and needs to unfurl. But yeah, it has you not feeling good about the position that you're in, or not feeling good about something. Not feeling great about something. And coming from that place of maybe not feeling 100%, I'm seeing that you need to make a decision. Like something needs to be done about this, it seems. Because I'm getting that you don't want to... The vibe is like you don't want to be in this spot, but you may be like, well, how do I get out of it? I don't know what to do. But I get this feeling again of something being... It's like a flower that's closed that needs to kind of undo, is the way I'm seeing this. Like you may be tightly wound about something. It's gonna have to do with the living situation for some of you. Something of the sort. I'm seeing strong Pisces here. Ace of Swords. I'm getting you like wouldn't be letting other people in on this. Like really keeping it to yourself that you're not feeling great, but it's very clear. Very, very clear. But maybe you also feel like this isn't me, and that's maybe why you don't want to share this. You may resolve to just wait. Maybe wait for things to get better. But I'm getting that if you want things to change and you don't want them to stay how they are, because I'm getting you like not be feeling happy. Hold on one second. My nose always gets itchy for the most part when I channel or I start sneezing. Maybe you're clearing something out here. Sorry guys, what I'm seeing is that like you don't feel good about the spot that you're in and you don't want to be in it anymore, but you may be continuing to do the same thing, and that's why you have to go into hermit mode and think about this. Hermit mode just means that like get off of your phone and don't distract yourself with your relationships with other people or whatever else it is that you may distract yourself with. It's like actually time to think about this and look into it, because I'm getting that every time this catches up with you, you're like, oh, I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be different. And then you're like, but I don't know what to do. But then you may be distracting yourself. Or you could be using excuses for like, well, this is going in my environment and now I have to like tend to this instead of focusing on this thing over here. You know, it reminds me of, there's this one talk that Ram Dass does where he talks about how like people would come up to him and be like, I want to meditate, but I have kids, or I want to meditate, but like my dad's always calling me. Like I want to meditate, but it's never quiet in my place. Like all of the reasons that we have for why we can't do the things that we want, and how the work is to actually be able to do those things within the circumstances that you're in. It's not to like cloister yourself away and like go up in the mountain, you know, unless that's the path that you choose to do. But the work is being able to be immersed in the environment and still do the thing and still like follow the path that you feel called to follow. So it's not about bypassing things and again tucking yourself away and being like, I can't deal with this or I can't deal with that, or like I'm too sensitive. You know, it's about immersing yourself like in the culture and in the experience and all of that, and being able to still do your thing. It's like the reason why this is important is it's like somebody that will like read all this stuff within a book, and then when they're put in the real life situation they have no idea what to do, because they've learned in an environment that's like not a simulation of the actual environment that they're going to need to do it in. So they just have this theoretical knowledge and not the like practical knowledge. So this is you being in the spot that you're in the circumstances that you're in that may not feel like easy circumstances. I'm seeing this be a challenging circumstance that you're in right now. Nonetheless, it's about being able to work with what you have right now. And I'm seeing there are options, there are possibilities for you to not have to be in this space anymore and for you to do something about it. But you may be focusing on certain things that are having you like lose your focus of what's really important here and what's really most practical. Because I'm seeing you be pretty clear on like what it is that you want and what it is that you're working towards. But what's hidden from you is the clarity you seek about how to invest in that and make that happen. But it's only, the only reason that it's hidden from you, and it's like you hiding this from yourself, the only reason it's hidden from you is because of this like lack mentality that you're in. And you like maybe not being okay with the circumstances that you're in, or being like, how can I work within this circumstance? But it's like, that is the work. The circumstance that you're in is the work. That's the whole point of it. Like it's supposed to be a struggle. It's supposed to be exactly as it is. But you could have been looking at it and been like, if I had these different circumstances, this would be easier, this wouldn't have happened, or this would be happening, you know. But like the whole point is for you to be in this spot and like figure your way out of it. That's the work. I'm seeing Saturn definitely have a hand in this for you. This is something that it feels like a very complexing puzzle, but then when you solve it, you're like, wow, I solved that. Like, feel really proud of yourself for moving through this and figuring it out, because like to validate this, it is a challenging circumstance that you're in, yes, but like that's the whole point of it. It's that it's supposed to be bad enough to motivate you enough to do something about it, to change it, because you don't want it to be the way that it is. But that means that you're going to have to do something differently. You can't do the same thing. And I'm getting this, again, strongly. You may find yourself in a circumstance and be like, I really don't prefer this, but then you distract yourself instead of doing something about it. You can distract yourself with work that you do, with busy stuff, with giving yourself assignments, to making yourself responsible for a whole bunch of things by doing unnecessary stuff. And it may be time to pull back a bit and really focus on what is really mattering to you. The thing that another reason why it can be tricky to address stuff like this is because it's not like you feel this way all the time. So it's like it comes and it goes in waves, as everything is cyclical, right? But like when the wave does hit, it like hits you in a really harsh way that you don't have to continue experiencing. But then when the wave is receding and you're not being hit by it, you may be like, oh, it's not a problem anymore, because you're like not experiencing it anymore. And then it comes back around and you're like, oh, this is terrible. I need to do something about it. And then the same thing keeps happening again and again. So this is about you finding a way to break out of this loop that you keep going around and around and around within, because you want things to be different. I'm seeing Pisces and Virgo here. So yeah, you could be like stressing yourself out. I'm hearing about bills. You could be stressing yourself out about things having to do with your valuables, your resources, home, family, things associated with that, your like stability in general. Again, stuff within your personal life that matters to you. Yes. But yeah, I'm seeing you like even hiding from yourself, maybe how like bad something is, or how bad or how uncomfortable something is, but it's like because you're not allowing yourself to go there, you're not allowing yourself to recognize, hey, I really don't prefer this, and then do something to change. So I'm getting bypassing again. It's like when you find yourself in a situation and it's like really something that you don't prefer and you're like, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. It's like that meme with that little dog where he's like, what is he saying? Like, it's not that bad, something like that. And the fire is like all around them. Like, this is okay. And I'm seeing like, you need to feel that. You need to feel the fire. This is fine. That's what he's saying. This is fine. You need to feel the fire and feel how terrible this feels, or uncomfortable this feels, or like, I really don't prefer this. I really don't like that this is happening. And like, admit that to yourself. So then you can be like, oh, but it doesn't have to be like that. If I really don't prefer this, I can like do something else to change it up. But I'm getting like, because you keep stopping yourself from like going there, again, these distractions that you're doing, or like not letting yourself feel it all the way through. Bypassing, that's happening. Once you allow yourself to like fully immerse yourself within this and be like, yeah, I really am feeling like that. Like, this is awful. I don't like this. This is really uncomfortable for me. Like, what if I don't make it out of here? You know, like, let yourself experience this whole thing that you're experiencing right now. Like, look at these people. Like, that is a real part that they are playing there. Like, allow yourself to like fully become engaged in like this part of the scene. Because I'm getting, it's like every time you start going there, you're like closing your eyes or pulling yourself back and like not allowing yourself to fully feel this in the fullness that it is. And so it keeps like stopping a process from happening where you're actually going to see clearly. Like, this can be a type of like anxiety or desperation that you enter into where it really motivates you, and you can use that for motivation to see the way out of this, to see the answer, to see what to do very clearly. It will make sense. Like, oh, it's been there the whole time, but it's like, because I didn't let myself, it's like from this perspective, you're going to be able to see this. But until you get into this perspective, you won't be able to see this. So you need to fully embrace this. Like, yeah, I really don't like the way that this feels. I don't want to be in this position, you know? To allow it to light a fire under you. And then you're going to see very clearly what's meant to be done here as far as what you're investing in, how you're utilizing your energy, and how to use it in a way to produce something that you want in the garden of your manifestations. And that's what's meant to be reflected upon right now in hermit mode. So hermit mode doesn't just mean like ignoring all your friends and not answering anybody. Hermit mode means like you're actually spending time reviewing this stuff as you move through. So in hermit mode, you're not doing nothing, you're doing something. This isn't the Four of Swords. Hermit mode is like I'm actually spending the time like analyzing this and reflecting on it. So, and reflecting on the right things. The thing too is that, like, coming back to this topic of bypassing, this can also be like being overly positive about everything again, where it's like toxic positivity, where you're again bypassing and being like, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, when really you're not okay with something. So it's like getting to a spot where you're like, no, I'm really not okay with this, and I do want to change it. This is where, because it's not bad to feel anything that you're feeling. It's allowing yourself to fully go there, to be like, yes, I admit that. Like, I really am not feeling well right now, or I'm not feeling good about this, or I don't like this position, or I'm worried about that, you know? Let yourself have it, because then you can actually start doing something about it. It has to be felt. It has to be recognized. So validate what's going on for you. It's definitely the place to start here. Like, let yourself be immersed in that, like, emotionally and psychologically, what's going on here. Some of you, like, get fearful of, like, letting yourself go that far, and you're like, what if I fall over the edge? But it's like, and what if you do fall over the edge? Like, you are all of it. It's all you. It's not like you're going into some, it's not like you're falling into anything that's not you. It's just you getting to know yourself deeper and deeper and more as you move through this. Like, you can't get lost anywhere. It's all spirit, it's all creation, and it's all of your making as well. So, make sure too that you're focusing on the right thing, because I'm seeing like for some of you, you're like focused on this big thing that you feel like you're desperately trying to obtain, when it's like there's something else that needs to be focused on, having to do with, what's the best way to explain this? Your mind frame is the place that needs to be started with. Your mind frame and your perspective and your feelings about what's happening, rather than what's actually happening. It has to do with that, about what's going on and how you feel about the position that you're in right now, and analyzing that and seeing like, what do I need to do to like tweak that and change that, or to pivot over here to not keep doing this cycle. Because you may be like looking at something like above you and trying to tinker with it over there, when it's like something much closer to home actually is meant to be tinkered with right now, to change the pattern of this cycle for you, that is going to produce the effect that you want. Okay? But it may be something that's less maybe like pleasurable or pleasant to be looking at, because it's like it doesn't feel good to look at that, but that's literally the whole point. So you can look at it and be like, so what can I do to change this, because I don't like taking myself here. Okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.